It is not crazy to assess news events to see if they're real or not real. And in fact, it's kind of crazy not to.
The Earth. Is it really just a big ball floating in space? Spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles per hour? Hurtling around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour? Whizzing through the Milky Way at a milk-curdling speed of over 500,000 miles per hour? And warp driving through the heaven at over 500 million miles per hour? And what about the sun? Is it really 93 million miles away and close to 1 million miles in diameter, with a circumference of nearly 3 million miles? And it's constantly illuminating half of our entire Earth's surface with the rotation of the Earth, creating our 24-hour days, our night and days? Or, the Earth is The sun isn't big, but is very small and very close, and not illuminating the Earth from 93 million miles, but is illuminating locally. And maybe everything, the sun, moon, and stars, are not far away, but are circling overhead relatively close. In this video, we're going to explore the latter option, and at the end, we're going to reveal startling evidence through the use of time-lapse photography that the sun cannot possibly be 93 million miles away, but is in fact very close and is illuminating locally as it traverses our Earth.
If the flat Earth says, no, it's not 93 million miles away, they say 3,000 miles, 4,000 miles. So I got this 400 miles around there. So anyways, what happens? Well, it's getting close to the Earth. What, visually? Yes. And physically. Why do I know this? Because what tends to take place is as it's coming down over the water, we're getting a hot spot. We're getting a burning bright light, and it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. There we have the sun. The sun is directional light. What has directional light? A flashlight has, oh, gee, that's bright. How many fingers is directional, right? Now look, there's the sun, and it's going up, and it's going over. Now it's setting, but you'll see that it's directional. So you can light up a room with a flashlight. You can light up a room with a flashlight, you know. Now, generally light up the room, but you see a big hot spot. And what happens when you get close to a wall? That hot spot gets brighter and brighter. Use a darker object here. I mean, see that? That's a hot spot. That absolutely, positively is evidence, solid evidence, that this flashlight is very close to the pillow. Now, if it's 93 million miles away, there's no hot spot. You go up in the dog cam pictures there, and you look at the videos of in space where they send up balloons. You'll see You'll see the Earth below, and the sun looks so close. You notice how close it looks? No, it's not. It's 93 million miles away. No, it's very close. And what do you see on the bottom of the Earth with the sun up here? What do you see? You see a hot spot. In every single clip, you see a hot spot. As the sun moves across, it acts like a flashlight with directional beam. It's a searchlight almost. Go out at night in a full moon on the water. You'll see the moon with a massive stream of light coming across the water, as if I took a flashlight and I got close to the water and I shined it. And if you're across from me, you'll see a big a stream of light, because it's directional. It's directional. You'll look out and you'll go, oh, gee, wow, it looks like search and rescue. It looks like a searchlight from military search and rescue or something. You know how at night they got those big lights, right? In a boat. Well, let's suppose you lifted the light up a little higher. Well, you get the same effect as the moon and the sun. So the sun, when it's setting, the water starts to glisten, the water starts to glow, and you're developing an incredibly bright hot spot, incredibly bright, because the sun is. Gee, it's weird in a camera. Everything's reversed. It's like Planet Bizarro. Okay, there you go left. There. See? It's getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and it's getting hotter. By the end of the day, it's like, oh, you've been in an air conditioning all day, under air conditioning, and then it's getting hot at night now because it's getting so much closer. So much closer. So, like a flashlight, there's the light, right? And it brightens up, but there's no light behind. There's no light behind. This is where we get nighttime. As the light goes along this way, but everybody behind the light are still in darkness. This is why we have time zones. That's why it's still in darkness, which indicates, because of the beam, it's very, very practical to think that it's some kind of giant, flat, illuminated disc with nothing behind it. Or it could be like one of those, what do you call them? Ceiling lights or pot lights, where you have a bulb inside. See, a bulb, if the sun is a bulb, all the light is diffused and it's spread evenly. There are no hot spots. There are no hot spots with a ball, illuminated ball of light. There are no hot spots. It just doesn't happen. If you get the light bulb close enough, it can very well happen. I haven't tried it yet, but it can very well happen. But again, it's proof that the sun is very close to the Earth. Even though if it is a ball, it's still very close to the Earth. But with a flashlight, it's a more directional light. You see, it's a more directional light, and this is what you see at night with the sunsets, the stream. So that indicates that it's not a light bulb. It's a stream of directional light, like a laser. A laser is directional light. So I can point that, and this is what I see at night with the moon and the sun. When the sun gets low on the water, it starts to form a trail, right? And that trail follows the sun wherever it goes. That trail points to the sun, same with the moon. So anyways, I'm trying to cram this all in. The sun, I think, is a flat disk, and it acts like a flashlight, whereas a pot light needs a covering. It's a light bulb that needs a covering, right, or ceiling light, which could be shielding the round sun and directing the light, but there's no indication of that. Maybe anything, to me, there's no limit to possibilities. Absolutely. And I don't care about your science. It's impossible because the Y divided by C, blah, blah, blah. And that could be a possibility, but it's a possibility, but not a probability. I think it's kind of remote that it would do that, right? And what kind of shield are we talking about? The hands of God. Okay, so now, is there anything else about the sun? Yeah, that hot spot. Oh, and this is another thing. This is your mind on sun. This is your mind on sunshine. Now watch. Watch what happens when I get closer and closer. Look at that. Look, where is it? Right here, right there. See that? That's called light refraction. Look at it. The closer you get, the bigger the light refraction. Now, go back 93 million miles. There ain't no light refraction. You see what I mean? See what I'm talking about? There is no light refraction. And at this distance, it's very small. It's very, very small. Very, very small. You go back and it gets smaller. But anyways, point your camera at the sun and the light refraction will be very big. Very, very big. So that proves that the sun is very close to the Earth. It's very small. They say about 33 miles wide. About, I would say, somewhere 400 or 500 miles up. And it goes around the Earth, this two-dimensionally, not three-dimensionally around a sphere. It's two-dimensionals around flat Earth. I've been trying to track it down. It's a what do you call it? Whistleblower. And he says that NASA didn't lie about a few things. NASA lies about everything. Everything is a lie. But we've set them up as the all-knowing, powerful gods. The moon is a luminary. You'd say in ancient times, there was no such thing as big, hunky planets. Okay, they believe there was a dome over the Earth made of glass, according to the book of Genesis. The Old Testament was made of glass. Anyways, embedded in the dome are lights, and these are the stars. They're not burning suns that are 300, 400, 500 times the size of our little sun. No, they're luminaries. They're like, oh my goodness, it's like a planetarium. I mean, it's kind of creepy because it's constructed. If that's what we're looking at, it's constructed. It's a planetarium. It's like what do you call those domes? Not terrariums, but geometric dome. Well, we've got the sun. That's the grow light. We got the moon, which is the night light.